All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Time Trial Tuesday. And as you can see, we are inside on the bike. This is going to be my first little segment, I guess, since getting back from my honeymoon and my wedding. And today it's all about finding out what my FTP is, my functional threshold power. Now we're going to run into some intervals for a warm-up, and we'll get back into the FTP test. Now these are going to be short 20-second segments, one at 190, one at 235, which is tempo, and then this is threshold, excuse me, and then 285 is, I think, VO2. It's been a while. There we go. Last little segment for a warm-up. I should say this part. So what's the point of an FTP test? Well, the easy term is to figure out your FTP, your functional threshold power, which means basically the amount of power you can produce over an hour for just emptying the tank. So if I was to go to my hardest for an hour, this would be the wattage I could do. Now this test is a little shorter. It's not an hour. It's a total of 45 minutes. And it's basically a warm-up. And then you kind of like put some effort into your legs. And then you do 20 minutes as hard as you can. Hopefully emptying the gas at the end of the segment, at the 20 minutes. Now with some calculations, you easily find your FTP. But why is that important? Your FTP is everything you need to know about training. Now, some people live and die by FTPs. For most of the summer, I haven't worried about it. But now that I'm back from my wedding, back from my honeymoon, I want to find out what my FTP is so I can take training a little more seriously. And the FTP is all about being able to train in the different zones. If you want to be in zone 2, zone 3, 4, 4A, 4B, 5, 6, and 7. It also shows you kind of how fit you are and strong on the bike. And one of the most important things to do on an FTP test is pacing. And that's something that we've been able to do this year in our time trials. Now I'm hoping to keep my FTP around 250. That's the last FTP I took in the beginning of the year. I've been away from the bike for a little bit, so we'll have to see. Now we've got 5 minutes of segments here. So we're gonna start ramping up and we will be back at the 6-minute mark. So we're riding at 260 watts for 3 minutes now. Our heart rate's probably gonna shoot up. And we gotta increase cadence here as well. We're a little low. All right, we're now going to take our energy gel and get ready for this next effort. It's going to be hard, it's going to be fast, and hopefully I'd like to hit 240 for our FTP if I get there. All right, guys, so I'm going to break down my plan real quick before I head on over to the fast forward button. Basically, for the first 10 minutes, I'm going to hold 235. And from there, I'm going to see what I need to do in case I want a higher watt, right? So if I'm at 235, my heart rate's lower than I think, my legs are feeling good, we'll increase the pace after 10 minutes. But we need to get to our goal first. That's the first part of this FTP test. Find the pace, feel good, and then push harder. I can definitely push the watts at the second 10 minutes. But the first 10 minutes, I need to find my pace. So with 15 seconds left, let's get into it. Good luck, head down, last little water by the feed, and let's go.
All right, so as we start this FTP test, the plan is simple. Stick around 235 watts for the first 10 minutes and then see where you can go from there. Now, very early on, probably 2.5 minutes in, I felt like I just wasn't at the wattage I wanted to. I was having very high inconsistency with my power output. That happens when you're not on the bike for a while and you're also not only biking, you're doing a lot of different other things like swimming and running and less focus on the bike. You lose some of that, muscle memory that you typically have. And that's where I get into an issue with going a little bit too high over the next few minutes. With 12 minutes left, 8 minutes down, my average watts is 245, which is 10 watts over where I wanted to be at this point. And honestly, I was feeling it in my legs. My heart rate was already at 170. I was honestly not in a good spot being at the wattage that I was at, especially time wise. Now, as we finish halfway through this, 8 minutes was kind of my deciding factor of like, okay, I got to be in gear 16, and I need to push everything I absolutely have into this FTP test. I knew at this point that my wattage was going to be lower than I thought, and that's just being away from the bike, being away from endurance sports over the last few weeks, and not being as serious as I was over the last few weeks as well. So now with 5 minutes left, the mentality really changes. It goes from, okay, I'm struggling and I need to get to the line, to I need to push everything out there and up this wattage so I get a better FTP. Thankfully for Zwift, this test is super easy to do. It's just in the daily workouts. You click it and you do it. It's awesome. One of the reasons why I absolutely love Zwift, as you can see, I'm wearing a 10th anniversary Zwift kit, one of my favorites. And as we approach the last minute here, this is where you need to empty the tank. You need to put all the watts down, no matter what. And at this point, I think I blacked out a little. I don't really remember this. But I'm pushing 290 to 300 watts here at the first part of the last minute. And my goal is to stay above that 290 mark, maybe push 300. And the second that it hits 30 seconds, I'm going to gear up to gear 24, the highest gear, and get up and out of the saddle. I need to push everything I absolutely have into this effort and hopefully get as good as an FTP that I can so that training is as accurate as possible. Now, at this point, I'm doing 370, 360 standing at the saddle, putting all the watts down, my climbing watts, 183 beats per minute, and we are going to get across the line at 250 watts, which with calculations after 20 minutes, it's going to be a 237 watt FTP. Not where we wanted to go, but that's a starting point. That's where we're going to start this year, and we're going to grow this hopefully to around 280 by the end of the year. Let's get into it. Let's grind.
Oh, brother, that was so hard. 237 FTP. Completely drained right now. That was absolutely everything I had. And we're definitely lower FTP than we wanted to. But that's where we're going to start here for training. Yeah. Zwift Racing League starts up soon, so I got to get stronger on the bike. I want to be running. I want to be swimming. So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. But that's where we're going to begin. Thank you guys all for hanging out here for the FTP test. Like I said, a little disappointing, but we're going to be back stronger. It was post-wedding, post 2 weeks off the bike. I'll take it. And yeah, let's continue training, get stronger, and I hope you guys join me for the ride.